Hello everyone. I'm so happy to be back with you for this second episode of Conversation with a Coach. It's been a while since the first one. My name is Chantal TRIHAN. I'm a business coach and mediator, and I'm deeply passionate about people. Today, we will be talking about some of the most important questions you can ever ask yourself. Something that can truly change not only your way of thinking, but your entire life. These questions may seem very simple, but they are incredibly powerful. So, I want to ask you, do you really know what is truly good for you? And what truly feels right for you? Do you really know what you want? And even more importantly, do you have the courage to choose it? How many times have you asked yourself these questions? Have you ever taken the time to think about it? To truly look inside yourself to find these answers? These questions have a profound impact on our lives, on our decisions, our relationships, our fulfillment, and sometimes even on the overall direction of our existence. For me, this type of question are a true life compass, a compass that helps us stay on course, guides on our choices, and focuses our energy on what truly matters. Instead of wasting it in struggles that ultimately drain us more than they save us. It's a bit like a GPS. If you don't enter destination, it cannot suggest the best route. And in the end, it's exactly the same for us. We should follow our own internal GPS, our desire. I invite you to stay with me until the end of this episode, because at the end, I will guide you through an experience that may help you look at your life from a different perspective and help you to discover what is truly good for you. And sometimes simply things differently is enough for the answers to become clear. So I ask you again, do you have the courage to choose what is truly good for you? Why is asking this question is so important? It's so important because when we begin to identify what is right for us, we gain clarity, coherence, and energy. We feel more aligned, more at peace, and that inner stress linked to dispersion begins to fade. We stop running in all directions. We can breathe again. We move forward with more ease. That's why this question is so important. It can transform the way we live, work, love, and make decisions. When I say we, I'm not talking about what our parents expect from us, what our partner hopes for, or what our children, friends, or society consider reasonable. I'm talking about this simple and yet essential question: what do you truly want in your life? What feels deeply right for you. I know from experience, and I see it every day in my coaching practice, that it can be difficult to answer this clearly. From birth, you are influenced by our environment. We grow up within a family, a culture, an education. We learn what is right, what is wrong, what we should do, and what we should avoid. And little by little, we build our vision of the world through our history, our experiences, and we are also influenced by the opinions and perceptions other people have of us. And without even realizing it, we sometimes end up forgetting what we truly want. This is where the brain comes into play. Our brain's primary goal is to protect us. It prefers what is familiar, reassuring, and requires the least effort. For the brain, change means uncertainty and is therefore often perceived as a risk. And in other words, the brain does not always seek what is best for us in the long term. It often favors what feels safest in the short term. That's why it can be difficult to hear what is truly calling us. This is also where biases, fears, habits, and beliefs come into play. They make us see reality through a filter that does not always reflect what we deeply desire. I see this very often in coaching. A client may spend a lot of time explaining why they won't succeed. And often I simply respond, "You're right. You won't succeed." I pause. They look at me, surprised, and ask, "Why would you say that?" And I reply, "Because right now you are convincing yourself that you can't." As long as you focus on why something won't work, your brain will find evidence to support that belief. But the moment you change the question, everything shifts. Instead of asking, "Why can't I do this?" ask yourself, "What do I need to do to make this possible?" From that point on, your mind stops building walls and starts looking for doors. But let's be honest, as soon as you identify what you truly want, something within you may resist. The biggest obstacle is not always the project itself, it's us. It is often the fear of losing security, status, stability, control, and sometimes even the fear of success. So we stay, we postpone, we hide behind excuses. But have you ever considered that staying is also a risk? The risk of frustration, the risk of losing energy, the risk of regret, the risk of losing yourself, and ultimately the risk of never achieving what you truly want. And I want to add an important nuance. Choosing what is good for you does not mean being selfish. No, it means stopping living solely according to others' expectations. It means making choices that are more aligned, more conscious, and more respectful of who you truly are. Change is not easy, I know. It is a journey. There will be ups and downs, moments of clarity and moments of doubt. We have to accept these. They are part of the journey, they are part of the process. Don't fight them. No journey is without its challenges. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite fear and to remain confident in your choices. Remain confident in your choices in your life. It is a desire to move forward. This is where your courage is truly needed. You must not talk yourself out of what you truly want, and you will try. You must continue on your path. And there is something even more important. We often talk about courage, but do you know, before courage, there is desire, because we can intellectually understand that a decision is good for us without feeling any real impulse to act on it. Without a deep desire, without an inner movement, it is difficult to move forward. Desire brings a decision to life. It is often a sign that a direction is truly calling us. That's why this question cannot be answered only with the mind. It must also be felt, not only with reason, not only with the ego, but with what is most alive within us. I have also gone through this process. I know this process. I started in accounting, then moved into languages and later into business. But over time, I realized that what truly drives me is people. Understanding people, helping them grow and supporting them through change. Passionate. Today, I work with leaders and teams, and I create this podcast. And every time I move closer to what has meaning for me, I gain energy more and more. Every time I move away from it, I lose it. It's like rowing against the current or sailing with the wind. The effort may be similar, but the experience is completely different. I see this with my client as well. I once worked with a client who loved creating, building, and solving concrete problems. Yet, he spent He stays in meetings behind a computer handling administrative tasks. And you know, every evening he came home exhausted. Not because he lacked skills or the ability to do the job, but because there was no alignment between what he was doing every day and what was deeply right for him. Imagine the consequences. This is why at the beginning of every coaching session I always ask the same simple question. What result would you like to achieve by the end of this session? Tell me. This question is powerful because it immediately shifts our attention to the future, not to the past. It prevents us from getting stuck in a long list of problems. Instead, it helps us focus on what we want to build. Positive, remember, positive, not negative. Ways that we want to avoid. It's important to focus on the solutions rather than the problem. Behind the positive, we have positive. Behind the negative, we have negative. And very often, that's the hardest part. I believe this is a fundamental, powerful question that we should ask ourselves often. What do I truly want? What is right for me? What about you? Do you know? Do you ask yourself these questions? And if you do you have the courage to make your own choices? Remember, these are questions of direction. These are questions that help us find our course. These are questions we should come back to throughout our lives. Okay, now we are almost at the end of this episode. But before we say goodbye, there's one thing I promised you at the beginning. Remember, I told you I'd offer you an experience that might help you look at your life from a different perspective, to discover what do you really good for you. You may have done this exercise before, or perhaps this will be your first time. Either way, I'd like to invite you to try this simple but powerful exercise. So, are you ready? Ready for the experience? Let's begin. If you can, make yourself comfortable. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Breathing. And slowly breathe out. Once again, breathing and breathe out. One last time, breathe in and breathe out. Now, let your breathing return to its natural rhythm. Relax your shoulders. Relax your face. Now bring your attention to your heart, not to your head, to your heart, not to what you think you should do, but to that quiet place within you, where your deepest aspirations lie. Keep your eyes closed. Now, imagine that 2 or 3 years have passed. You are in the future. Everything has unfolded in the best possible way. And imagine that there are absolutely no constraints, no financial limits, no lack of time, no lack of skills, no obligations, no fear, no judgment. Everything is possible. Simply allow the images to come. Don't force them. Just let them appear. Where are you? What kind of place are you in? What does your environment look like? Take your time. Now look at yourself. What are you doing? Who are you with? Or are you on your own? Are you in your home country or somewhere else in the world? What language are you speaking? Who are you talking to? What kind of conversations are you having? What kind of work are you doing? How do you spend your days? Look around you. Notice every detail. Most importantly, look at your face. Are you smiling? How do you feel? Stay with that feeling for a few moments. Don't judge anything. Don't analyze anything. Simply welcome whatever comes. Trust what you see. Trust what you feel. Your heart often knows before your mind does. Okay? Now, take another slow, deep breathing. And gently breathe out. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Take a moment to appreciate what you've just experienced. When you are ready, slowly open your eyes. Okay? How do you feel? Okay, take a moment to notice whatever is present. I invite you to take a piece of paper and write down a few words, a few sentences, or a few images that came to you. Don't worry about making them perfect. Don't control them. Just capture them while they are still fresh. Then ask yourself one final question. What is the very first small step I can take today to move one step closer to that life? What is the very first small step I can take today to move one step closer to that life? Because every meaningful journey begins with not a big step, but with one small step. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you for taking this moment for yourself. Thank you for listening. I'm convinced this episode has given you something to reflect on, and perhaps even the courage to go a little deeper into what is truly right for you. Never forget this: we don't build our lives only through the big decisions we make. We build them through the small choices we make every single day. The desire to want to move, and something through the choices we don't dare to make. For the next episode, maybe we'll explore the power of silence. Why is silence sometimes so uncomfortable? And what if it's exactly where we reconnect with who we really are? But today, I'd love to hear from you. Let's start a conversation. Please go to the comments and answer these 3 questions. What is your deepest inner desire? What fears or beliefs are holding you back right now? If everything were possible, what would you do? And no cheating by saying nothing. No, I'm really looking forward to reading your answers. Until next time, take care of yourself, your family, and dare to choose what truly matters to you. Thank you. See you for the next episode. The best for you. Bye.